Hi, this is Paul with Springfield Speaker, SpringfieldSpeakerRepair.com. Today we're going to show you how to use your iPad or smartphone to center the voice coil on your speaker while changing the foam or rubber surround on the speaker. It can be very difficult. Some sellers who sell kits to repair these things will tell you that you have to remove the dust caps and insert shims to do it properly. That's not correct. A lot of times they're just trying to get you to buy their kit because it includes shims, which cost next to nothing. That's not an improvement to a kit. The problem is it can be very difficult to remove this dust cap without accidentally cutting through your 30-year-old brittle paper cone, or cutting these little tiny wires leading to your coil. So what we do, instead of doing that or trying to do some hand centering, we use a tone generator app on these devices. First of all, like the iPad here, if you just go into your store, into your iPad app store, I searched for tone generator and I found all these different tone generators. Usually you settle for a free one because it's not like you're doing this for a living. If we go here, you'll see where I got this tone generator. There it is. And this one, it's very easy to use. You hit play, you set it to the correct frequency that you need to work with. Pretty simple. We also have Android phones. Android phones, it's very easy to use. You can go in there, do the same search for tone generators. The one that we use in particular, we like to use, is called Pro Audio Tone Generator. It's free, very easy to use. Comes up on your screen as PA tone. You set the frequency you need, make sure it's on sine wave, make sure your volume is turned up, and then you can do fine adjustments here. We usually do the repair at 50 Hertz. It's very simple. On the iPhone, SineTone, S-I-N-E-T-O-N-E, is a very good app to use. It's also free, very easy to use. You can set your volume, set where in the frequency you're going to be, medium. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Here's the hertz. You can set this one down, put it to low, crank it down to 50, boop, or thereabouts. It doesn't have to be exactly 50, but as long as you're in the neighborhood of 50 hertz, it's a very good signal to use for these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fix this. This is an EPI. What you can see is we've already gone through the beginning process of the repair. We've already cleaned the frame, cleaned the cone. We've taken our perfect EPI foam and we've put it back down in place, so it's already glued to the cone, and we've let this dry for 45 minutes to an hour. Now we're ready to do the actual centering process and glue the outer edge, and this is where we're going to finish up. Alright, now Jeff is going to come in here and do this repair for us. We're going to use the NRC adhesive on this particular kit. Shake it up really well. We need the chemicals and the rubber base to mix very well here. Jeff's going to get this shaken up, and what he's going to do is take these wooden dowels. We use these 1/2-inch wooden dowels for this size speaker, and we set them in there right where the cone and the spider meet. We tilt it up here a little bit, you can see what we're doing. Right where the cone and spider meet, we kind of shove them up in there, and what it does is it projects the cone up, so you can see we now have a gap in between the foam and the frame where we can get our glue in there. So we're going to have Jeff go ahead and get started on that. Next part of the process, he's going to take his smartphone and he's going to plug this cord in. Now this cord is a 3.5 millimeter stereo cord. It's for plugging into a headphone jack. The other end is 2 RCA plugs plugged into our stereo unit. So we can come out with our stereo unit directly into the woofer. You don't want to go into the speaker cabinet because that's going to go through a crossover. You want to take this out of the cabinet to do the repair. Go directly into the woofer. Hook your positive to your positive, your negative to your negative. Turn on your stereo and your amp so you've got some volume to work with, and then you can get your 50 Hertz tone going once you get your glue in place. So now he's all set up and ready to go. Jeff's going to go ahead and apply a nice bead of glue. Now you don't get carried away with this glue. Use too much glue and it's going to get really sloppy and messy, and that's a common problem that a lot of people make. This looks like a tiny bottle of glue in this kit, but I can assure you there's enough glue here to do a lot of speakers. You use it sparingly. Do a nice bead. Jeff's going to bring it around the other side here so you can see just how big a bead he's doing. But you can see this way he can access that frame without actually without the foam actually dropping down into the glue. So we don't have the problem of it sticking prematurely and causing a problem for us while we're doing our centering. So right here now, he's just about got his bead of glue. We do our work on a turntable, which allows him to rotate the speaker if he needs to. It's a little tougher when your wires are already hooked up, but we like to work on turntables here, and you can get a nice even circle all the way around. So now he's to this point. He's ready to go. Now at this step, he's going to go ahead and fire up his tone generator, get his 50 hertz tone going. Now you can't hear this, but as long as you've got, now this has to be a 50 hertz sine wave. Don't put it on one of the other settings. Make sure that your tone generator is set to a sine wave. Hear it vibrating around a little bit there. A 50 hertz tone you're barely going to hear. Zoom on in there, and when we zoom in, you're going to see if you can hear any kind of vibration like this, it's not centered. So as long as our volume is not too loud while we're doing this process, we're not going to cause any damage. So now he's going to carefully try and set it down. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Set it right down into the glue, and then very carefully, he's not going to start at one side and just run his finger all the way around. We don't want to do that because it's going to cause the foam to be uneven. So he's going to touch maybe at the 6 and 12 position and the 9 and 3 position, and carefully just touch different spots around the speaker to make sure that it's down correctly. Now right now all we've got is a nice little hum. The bench is vibrating. There's no scratchy sound whatsoever because we've got a good nicely centered voice coil, and we can actually hear that it's not rubbing. Now you're going to see that your foam curls a little bit. Now don't panic. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, the foam is melting. That's not the case. The foam is not melting. This is a solvent-based glue. As the solvent evaporates, it's gonna wreak a little havoc with the edge of your foam, and it's gonna make it kind of look like it's getting all wrinkly and distorted, like it's dissolving. It's not dissolving, I can assure you of that. All it's doing is letting that vapor escape. As the vapor escapes, it's gonna lay back flat, and you can see from what Jeff's doing, it's flattening back out very nicely. Just takes a few minutes. He's slowly working his way around, and we've got a good clean sound. Take a look at this now. We've got a speaker. It looks great. You can't hear it right now because it's a 50 hertz tone. It's down very, very deep. We could turn it up higher. Turn that tone up higher, Jeff. Not the volume, but the tone itself. Put it up to a higher frequency so they can see that there is in fact the sound coming through it, but that 50 hertz tone is so low it's basically just moving air at this point. We're going to turn this speaker down to 10 hertz, and you can really see it going in and out. There we go. That's at 10 hertz. We got to be careful. We don't want to put too much power to it at that frequency. It could be damaging for the little tiny wire that this coil is made of. So you can see this is going in and out. It's not scratching. It's not rubbing. Get it. We're back up to 50 hertz, and it's pretty simple. I think the ending is pretty self-explanatory. We're done. We're going to go around that foam a few more times and make sure that the adhesive took, that it's cured, that it's ready to go. Now you could leave this tone generator running for 5-10 minutes maybe. You don't even have to really do that. If you've got it good and centered, leave this speaker face up or face down for the next 24 hours till all the chemicals evaporate out of the adhesive, and you're going to be done. And that is about the simplest way to center your voice coil using your smartphone or iPad. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on expensive tools. You don't have to risk damaging your speaker. You're just going to use stuff that you already have. Now, if you look again, you see Jeff's just got his smartphone. He's got that cable plugged in there. We have cables, not a white one like this, but we do have a black one that we'll have available on our website. It's $5, including shipping anywhere in the United States, if you don't have one of these. But it goes from 3.5 millimeter stereo that plugs into the headphone jack, and on the other end, it's got RCA plugs for plugging into your stereo. So that's about it. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, you can contact us anytime at 1-800-397-9575 or visit us at springfieldspeakerrepair.com. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.